Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? All right, so as you guys can see, I am on US30 chart right now. If we look at this, I mean, you guys can see I use the ruler. We're over here, but I pretty much mapped out from this high to this low. So from wick to wick, US30 moved about 570 points for the day. Now, what I want to do in this video, I want to break down what happened, why it happened, and how we were able to catch this move. So before we really get into that, I want to just say a few things so you guys have a better idea how to go about trading this. So when high impact dollar news happens, most traders they get confused as to what's going on, right? Sometimes good news happens and US30 drops. Sometimes bad news gets released and then US30 rises. Ideally, you can't trade US30 the same way that you'll trade UJ, EU, or any other dollar based or quote currency pair. Now, the reason being is that the stock market is not the economy, nor is it a currency. You cannot trade it that way. Literally, US30 is the stock market. It is not a Forex pair. So with that being said, let's break down US30, again, how we were able to catch these moves and my thoughts for CPI tomorrow morning at the time you're recording this video. So for starters, I daily give a market breakdown in my Discord. The link to join in the description below. These breakdowns include indices, commodities, as well as Forex pairs. So for receipt purposes, I want to show you guys right here. So I posted this morning a breakdown before news drops so you can take advantage of the move. And next I jumped into our trading room so we can trade together. Sorry about that. So we can trade together. So when trading news, you have to remind yourself that news follows technicals. It's really not that difficult. I understand that most traders they kind of have difficulty with their they freak out. They look at Forex Factory. They really don't have an idea what's going on, what's getting released, and so forth. But again, as I said, so when trading news, news follows technicals. So if you notice, before a major news is set up to be released, you have the market either hovering around support or around resistance. Now, ideally, if we're hovering around support before news is drops, it's likely that the market will rise during that news release. And then the opposite is true as well. We're hovering around resistance. Ideally, before news, the market will drop. Now, I'm saying ideally because there's other factors comes into play when it comes to technicals, right? We may have a retest of support that makes it go up, or we may have a break and retest. We may have break retest. We may break support and then retest after it becomes resistance and then it continues dropping. However, though, regardless, the one-on-ones of trading, they still apply. You buy at support, you sell at resistance until someone tells you otherwise. Now, getting into this. So we know that this morning we had PPI was released. So core PPI month over month was released. It came in 0.0%, which is lower than expected, while PPI came in at 0.1%, again, both lower than expected, which ideally was not good for the dollar. That's the reason why the DXY as well as UJ and other dollar-based pairs, they actually dropped. However, it was good for US30. As you guys can see, we had a huge bullish day. So right now, the stock market, which is US30 is considered, right, it's focused on the economics data that's added to either if the Fed is going to cut rates by 0.25% base points or 0.50%, which is why today's PPI was bullish for the markets. So now with that, I want to show you guys the technicals as well as how we're able to catch these moves. So right now, I'm on a daily time frame. I'm going to drop down to the 15 and show you guys what I saw. But actually, before that, well, yeah, I can do it that way. It's fine. All right. So looking at this, as you guys see, it is a naked chart right now. So what I did, I was actually about like 4:30 this morning, and mainly because I have a newborn, so like my schedule is kind of like it's kind of all over the place right now. But I also know that like certain times, I'm going to wake up, change him, get everything situated, and depending on like what's going on in the markets, I might, you know what, let me thug it out and stay up for the day. Or I'll probably like go back to sleep if I know it's not gonna be anything going crazy. Go back to sleep, wake up, and ideally, if I miss the market open, it's okay because there's other moves that can happen throughout the day. So going into it now, I'm going to show you guys my markups that I have drawn up. Right, so I based these right here. I based off the 15, as you guys can see. We have 491 as well as 400. Right, very important areas. But what's more important than that is this zone that I have up. I based it off the hour, as you guys can see that. So ideally, especially from yesterday's move, we had a lot of rejection from this area, right? Probably talking fast, it's okay. If we go to the daily time frame, we can see a lot of rejection from that. We just need to 100% clear out 589. I'm saying that purposely so you guys can understand that. So we drop down to a 15-minute time frame and we see what's going on. This morning, we have another rejection from that same exact zone. Very important, and the reason why is because, again, when it comes to news, again, as I said, before news is released, we're going to have a retest of some type of support or resistance. this didn't show me otherwise. So we have a nice harami on a higher time frame support. I'm saying support because the zone that I have up is based off of like ideally a support. So we have a nice harami going to play. Now, what I did, I got into this trade 703. Now, let me show you guys the reason to it. So this morning I woke up, right, and we can see it, right? We can see that around over here, this is creating a support. Now, ideally, I'm on a minute time frame. I understand that I'm dropping down to the minute time frame to have more precise entries. But looking at this right here is the details that's making up the higher time frame. So I do know that overall, the 15-minute is showing me that we are respecting this zone and the hour is getting ready to close, which is also indicating that we're holding on to it. So that's acting as a support. So with that being said, I was actually waiting for this candle to show, and I kind of got distracted on my phone. But nonetheless, though, once this had broke out more so over here, I was able to catch this entry. And then from there, I'm not gonna lie, my first take profit was 589, and then after that, I was taking it to 642. I'll show you guys in a second to the reason why, and I'll also show you why I got out and why I got back in. So obviously news came out. It was super bullish. Price came up. We had a little rejection off of 491. So I said to myself, more likely this should be what I need. At that point, I put my stop loss in profit. Ideally, I closed this trade roughly about over here, mainly because I saw that this reversal had come into play. And I kind of got a little upset, but in the day, it is what it is. After that came out, we had another trade that we had took during market open. And then from there, ideally was going to take that to 642. I'll show you guys why at each one. So if we go to 589, I'm just going to put a line there so you guys can see it. It'll make more sense. 589. All right. So if we go to 589 on an hour time frame, right, we can see exactly why price is hovering at this area, right? Even with yesterday, we hovered over there. So looking at that, if we're holding on a higher time frame support, we have to first clear out that gap, which you guys saw in the daily. Why we have to clear that gap. You see it there perfectly. And then once we clear that gap, the next stop we're going to is 642. And I took 642 mainly because we had that high, which was right here from Friday's 1:30 p.m. Candle. You guys can see that high of the wick is around 642. So dropping down to the minute time frame, so you guys can really keep up to see what's really going on. So once price had hit that area, again, as I said, I got a little greedy. I saw price was hovering to it. I moved my take profit to 642. Price came up to it. Again, I moved it up again to 600. I mean to 700. At that point, we all got a little greedy, and then after that, more so, we closed that trade once we saw that price was actually holding on to that. But ideally, looking at that, I just wanted to show you how we're able to catch those two positions. But nonetheless, though, what's very important is that understanding how the market moved, and as well as what I see for the upcoming breakdown for tomorrow's CPI. Now, with this being said, looking at this, I'm going to take everything off so it won't be a little messy. Looking at this overall, we finally broke out of this range, which was 589, and we're really hovering up to about like 40K flat. Ideally, again, as I said, I do think that CPI will come out. We may get a retest back down to 598 tonight. However, I do see that price to have no problem hitting this candle, which is 40,259. Now, with CPI coming out, again, the first take profit that we want to see, we want to make sure we cover this space over here, which is the high point about like 40,048. You guys see exactly why I'm choosing that mark. And then once we hit that, we should have no problem getting up to at least minimum 40,259. On the flip side, if CPI comes out bearish, if CPI comes out bullish, which would not be good for the markets, but it'll be good for the dollar, I think that we're more likely will come back down to first would be around like 39.4. And if that doesn't hold, price should have no problem come back down to here, which is about 39.167 area. I hope this breakdown was really simple. I know it's kind of talking a little fast. I hope it was simple. A great way for you to see how I saw the markets, how we were able to capitalize off of these moves. And again, if you guys enjoyed this video, like it, share it, subscribe for more, share with other friends. And as well, if you do need help trading the markets, whether it's UJ, it's currencies, it's indices and so forth, link to join my Discord description below. And I'll see you guys soon.